he went on this and basically put this guy on blast. As the show was going on, this very popular guy with such a huge platform decided to do his own PR. All right, why is this related to what we're talking about here? We're talking about how to move as a man in the society that we live in today, right? Right. So when we're talking about businesses, the greatest of the greatest in this world, they understand the importance of public relations. They don't say, no, I believe in what I believe in, fuck that. Well, if you do that, even if you become the president of a nation, you may not, in a free world, in the United States, you may not be able to use more than one term, because you don't know how to hold your tongue. You don't know how to move within the construct of the society. That may be your calling, just the result you're going to create is maybe one term. And yes, shots fired. Okay, so now he decided to call in because he basically panicked as the show was going on. As this lady, so after she told her story, this guy called in and decided to I don't know what he was trying to do, maybe deny, now he's since come out with a public apology, not to her but to the gospel world at large, to the body of Christ, and to his wife at home. Now the wife, according to the stories, does not have any issues, as in like does not have any children, and they've been trying to have children. That's according to the rumors, right? So now I want to play this for you, and then you hear when a man loses control, when he loses his self-control, just things start to go wrong. Well, let me say this really quickly. As a human being, nobody's asking men to be superhumans. Nobody's asking that, right? As a matter of fact, the idea is to not try to be a superhuman. You will fail 100% of the time when you're trying to be superhuman. What we're saying is that learn how to use the trend of the feminine ocean in your favor. Don't try to be a superhuman. That's precisely what I'm saying. Stop trying to overtalk people. Stop trying to be so aggressive. You're doing the same thing over and over. You're expecting a different result. That's called insanity. Okay. So, and a lot of the pop culture news, you see all these lessons all over the place, and my intentions is to bring them to light with things that, so the first step in losing control is that you had sex with a complete stranger with no condoms. Listen, I'm not here to preach holiness to you, okay? Nobody is holy. Fuck that, okay? I'm not here to tell you that a man is supposed to be faithful, all this kind of shit. That's bare minimum. You're supposed to be faithful. No one needs to teach. That's common sense. Now, that's common sense. However, part of common sense is to know that humans are humans, and they can find themselves in compromising situation where they will do something that they're not proud of. Every human being will go through this, men and women, right? So you as a man, when that happens, how you respond to it is much more of what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about, oh, you should have vet, you should have been holier than thou, you should have been a nice guy, you should have been an upstanding. No, fuck that. Sometimes we fall short. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's unrealistic expectations for me to expect you that you won't fall short. That's just stupid. That's lack of game too. Okay, so he fell. Okay, he's a human being like the rest of us. Okay, and his history also shows that that's his weakness. He likes the ladies, right? He loves the ladies, right? Even as a man of the cloth, right? He loves the ladies. So, but now he failed at learning how to respond to crisis. Crisis will happen in life. Conflict will happen in life. It's how you respond to it that we have to kind of pay attention to as men. Okay, the idea of misconstruing the definition of masculinity to fit your own stupid aggressive rhetorics is where precisely you're going to fail. Okay, so he called into this show with the arrogance and basically made a fool of himself. He didn't make a fool of himself for impregnating. He did. You impregnate another woman without your intentions, the person you don't know, of course that's boo-boo. You made a boo-boo of yourself, right? But then when you continue to perpetuate the same behavior, you start to dig even further and further hole for yourself, right? So let's play it. Let's play. So this is him calling into the show, and then you hear the young lady who owns the show responding to him.
Yeah, who's calling, please? Sammie Okposo speaking.
Oh, hi, Sammie. How are you?
I wish I could tell you that I'm fine.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. So I believe you've heard the show so far. That's why you're calling, right?
Yeah, I'm really
Okay. Can you put your TV or your screen where you're watching down so we can hear you a bit better?
You said you tried to reach me?
Yeah.
So he's asking that did she try to reach him? All right. So when bloggers put out stories, right? We saw what happened with Tasha K over the past few days, right? Those of you that follow her, right? You don't want to lie, right? So you want to reach out to the parties involved to see if they would like to tell their own story. The job of quote unquote journalists of the digital age is to check all sides and to see if people want to put statements out. It's just the right and the fair thing to do, as opposed to what Tasha K did over the past 3 years with Cardi B. You don't want to be spiteful. You don't want to be evil. You don't want to lie. You don't want to perpetuate without paying attention to the effect on other people's mental health, right? So she did the right thing. She actually tried to reach out to him, but he's now asking that, did you reach out to me? But even the way he's asking is like he's coming with this level of authority that he clearly doesn't have. At least he's lost respect, even to his audience.
Yes, I did. I sent you a message. I DM'd you on Instagram.
Yeah, me?
Yes.
But I didn't see any DM from you.
Yeah, I did. I sent you a DM. Check your DM on Instagram.
I didn't see any DM. I didn't see any message.
Okay, so we're here now. African Doll has just told us her story.
Yeah, I haven't.
Right.
I just met the.
So I'm not sure why he called in. Did he call in to deny or to support the story or to say, yes, I know her? I'm not sure, but let's move it forward. I'm going to drag this to the middle a little bit so we don't waste too much time on it.
So every story, there are details and there is evidence, hard evidence. Anybody can get up and say anything. Anybody can wake up and, haven't you heard of people that fabricate stories?
Yeah.
So he came here to indirectly claim, this was on Sunday. By Monday, he had released an apology message to his Instagram, to his 600, over 500,000